Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a miserable morning. Well, one, because it's raining. I know, shocker. And I'm drenched. And so this week has not gone as planned in terms of training because I ended up getting a bit sick. So I'm on the taper end. I've still got a bit of a cough, but not enough to, stop me from training. And I am the person to say, don't train when you're sick. But I am almost, but minus the cough, which lingers for weeks on end. I don't know what it is about me, but if I get sick, it always goes straight to my lungs, and then I'll have a cough for like a month afterwards. So I don't know if it's like, what shall not be named. But I always get it straight to the lungs, and then it like lingers for a fucking month. Very frustrating, but we're here, we're training, it's feeling good, and it's my favorite muscle group. So, one cannot complain too much because we're still kicking ass and hitting smashing goals. And even though it's been kind of like sidetracked and I haven't been able to do as much as I would like and follow the program as much as I would like this week, we are still hitting it and hitting it hard and doing what I possibly can within my current situation. And that is one of those things. Like, if you are sick, don't go to the fucking gym, because if you are sick, you're going to pass it on to every single other person in the fucking gym. Well, number one, so, everyone else around you is going to get sick and they're not going to be appreciative of that. And number two, it's just not good for the body. It's not good for the heart. You're putting your body under unnecessary strain and stress, and 1 or 2 days of rest and recovery is not gonna deter your progress. It's not going to stop you from reaching your goals. And if you do train whilst you are sick, if anything, you'll probably end up, one, sicker for longer, or two, you're going to end up like fucking bedridden because you pushed your immune system so hard that you haven't been able to fully recover. And now your body's going, well, you wanted to train when you were sick. Now you're going to I'm going to force you to rest, because that's what the body does. It literally will make sure that it gets what it needs to rest and recover. So listen to it. So I've taken that little bit of rest. I'm back at the gym and we are hitting chest. So I have done my first working set, which was 3 reps, and I was fucking happy. So I did 60, 80, 90, 95 kilograms. And then I was like, should I do 97.5 or should I do 100? And I went with 100 and it felt good. But let's see how the second set feels. So I've done 1 set on 100. I've got 2 more sets because it's the 3rd week in the strength block. So obviously everything is 3 by 3. So let's see how set number 2 on bench feels. I'm still weighing 62 kilograms. Well, between 62 and 63, it fluctuates a little bit. It actually fluctuates between 61 and 63. And that's one of those things that is inevitably going to happen. You are going to fluctuate in weight, salt, sleep, painkillers, stress. There are so many variables that will affect your weight, and weighing yourself too often is just gonna put too much stock into your weight. And weight isn't necessarily that important. Well, it isn't important. How you look, how you feel, how close fit is far more relevant and far more important than a fucking number on a scale. So unless you're like trying to make weight for like an MMA show or something like that, the scale doesn't fucking matter. And putting too much stock in how much you weigh is never a good thing. So don't put value in an irrelevant, intangible number that means absolutely nothing, because there is no perfect weight. For a woman, there's no perfect weight. For a man, your height, your weight, your muscle mass, there are so many variables when it comes to weight. And at the end of the day, as I say, unless you have to make weight for a boxing show or something like that, your weight shouldn't matter, okay? how do your clothes feel? How do you look? How do you feel? How do you look in the mirror? Those are all far more important than an intangible number that means absolutely nothing. And yeah, so just remember that. Remember that when you are like weighing yourself 5 times every single day and your weight fluctuates, because it's going to fluctuate within the course of a day according to what you're eating, what you're drinking, etc., etc. So don't put too much weight in the scale. And that is my 2 cents for the day. I always end up on these tangents, but it's fine. Okay. So set number 2, I'll just wait for my spotter. Okay, so set up. I'm focusing on trying to keep my leg drive in from the get-go rather than using it later on in the set. So everything is engaged and tight from the get-go, and I'm feeling a lot stronger with that new setup. So I've just got to make sure that I do that consistently. Okay. Oh, that was heavy. I had a moment of self-doubt there, which is not ideal because you know how I feel about self-doubt. Yeah, so I finished rep 2 and then I was like, do I have another rep in me? But I've tried to force it out of my head and just focused on keeping that drive, keeping everything tight. So what I'm doing now with my setup is, so I plant my feet, keep them nice and flat. I'm actually going to run through everything because it will help me as well. So I plant my feet. I then get into position and obviously put my fingers in the position that they need. Okay. Then I retract my scapula as much as I possibly can. And then I start engaging my feet. So from the get-go, my feet are engaged, my legs are engaged, my glutes are nice and tight, my lats are tight, and everything is really, really, really compact and solid and ready to engage. So that's so important because you want to make sure, in particular, your legs are driving and your lats are nicely engaged, because for me, the bench is more lat driven, leg driven than necessarily pec. Obviously, if you're just doing bodybuilding, setup and everything is different. You're not going to arch as much. You're going to focus more on, you probably go slightly narrow with your grip. You will do so many different things for bodybuilding. Rep range, powerlifting bench and conventional bodybuilding bench are not the same. Obviously for bodybuilding purposes, you're trying to isolate the chest primarily because that's what you're working. Whereas in powerlifting, it's an external force, i.e. you're using the entire body. It's a compound movement. You're using your legs, you're using your lats, you're using your triceps, you're using your chest. You're using everything rather than trying to isolate the pecs. And for me, as I said, if I don't feel like there's a lot of chest involvement, there is some chest involvement, but making sure that the lats are engaged, making sure that I'm bending the bar, making sure that I'm driving through my legs are far more important than a chest movement. So, and that's one of the things that the one person commented on one of my other videos. They're like, how do you structure programming for dips and bench? Because obviously dips and bench use a lot of the same muscle groups. They're using pecs. They're using your chest muscles, they're using your tricep muscles, they're using your lat muscles. So if you are doing strength programming, then I would highly recommend making sure that you put bench and dips far enough apart. So I do dips on Monday and I do bench on Wednesday. So I've got that rest between it so that the triceps and the pecs are as fresh as possible to maximize each lift. And that's how I do it. And obviously you could use one as an accessory for the other. For example, if you were doing heavy dips, you could do hypertrophy lightweight bench. And then I would probably do more of a bodybuilding bench where even if I put my feet on on the bench to make sure I'm really isolating the chest, not using my core, stabilizing with my core, etc., etc. And then, so I'll do 3 of 3 on dips, but then I'll do 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps for lightweight bench. And you could do vice versa. So if on bench day you wanted to do some lightweight dips, you could do that. So I'm doing 3 of 3 with bench. And then I could, for example, go and do some lightweight dips or tricep extensions or something tricep orientated and do like 4 sets of 8 to 12 rep range. So I'm maximizing both the hypertrophy aspect of the stimulus as well as the strength aspect of the stimulus. So that would be my recommendation if you wanted to do both movements on the same day. I would not do strength for both movements because whatever movement you do first, you're going to obviously be far more better performance wise. So if I did bench, I'm going to be far stronger at my bench than if I then went on and tried to do 3 of 3 on dips as well. And that's also why I do my ring dips on Friday or Saturday, because again, that uses a lot of chest and a lot of tricep. So I'm trying to break up my strength movements enough to allow for maximum recovery of those muscle groups between sets. So that is just a bit of information of how I'm structuring my program currently. As I say, I'll do 2 to 3 strength movements a day. It's usually 2. So I'll do, for example, squats and bench. But I am also now incorporating, muscle ups. So on 2 of the days, I do 3 strength movements. And I'm not too sure I can classify the last movement as a strength movement, the muscle ups, because they are still very, very light at this point, but they are obviously becoming more and more incorporated into my programming as a strength movement. But for now, they're more of a skill movement than necessarily a strength movement. Anyway, I've got 1 more set left. So you might as well join me for the last set of bench because I feel like I've talked for long enough to have recovered. So I'll do my last set and then moving on. So with this set, my 3 of 3, I also do a drop set. So that's what I always do on week 3 of my programming because I feel like 3 of 3 isn't enough. I know. So with my 3 of 3, I always do a drop set to around about 50% of my working weights. And then I rep out another 20 reps just to get that little bit more of a pump in the muscle because I never feel like 3 of 3 is enough. And it's just like, okay, have I done enough? And by getting that little bit of a pump at the end, it also helps me to feel like I am giving enough. So I'm going to drop it to 60 kilograms after this. And then I will knock out another 20 to 30 reps, probably 30 with bench, because I am a little bit stronger with bench, so I can rep out a few more. So, right. Okay. So last set, 3 reps, and then I'm going to drop the weight and do a further 20. And the 20 will not be unbroken. I will be splitting that up and just resetting and pushing out until I get all those reps done. Okay. So remember the setup, nice and strong, tight everywhere, drive through the legs, bend the bar. Okay. Oh, Last one was a fight.
What's the drop?
I'm dropping to 60. Thank you. Okay. Right. Let's see how I get on with this one. Okay, 10 reps. Oh, okay, 10 more. Okay. Right, so as I say, they don't have to be unbroken. Rest a little bit and just build up until you get to the designated 20 or 30 reps. If you can do like 15 reps unbroken, then I would definitely recommend doing 30. So, right. Right. Okay, that's 8. I'm gonna do 30 reps. So I've got 12 left. Okay. Come on. Right. 12 reps. Let's see if I can do 6-6. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 5 left. Well, that last rep was a bit of a push. Okay, so I got 5 reps left. 5 reps, baby. 5 reps. Okay. Okay, 5 reps. Hopefully I can do them all together. Okay, 5. Yeah, that felt good. That felt good. Right, so, that is my strength for today. I'm not going to push it, so I might not do squats just because I don't want to push my body too much. So I'm probably gonna back squat and front squat on Friday, which just sounds disgusting on so many levels. But tomorrow I'm gonna rest again, just let my body fully heal, and then Friday we're gonna smash it. So remember, stay positive, believe in yourself, whatever your goals are, fuck what anyone else thinks. You gotta do it for you, and unless you're hurting someone else, don't give a flying fuck what anyone else thinks. You can do this. Set some goals, short term, medium, long term, and just keep on going. You can do this. Believe in yourself, stay positive, stay motivated. And remember, consistency is far more important than anything else. Show up, do the work, and keep on going. We're functional and fuckable, baby. Let's keep on going. Yeehaw!